The Wall 2017. In the scorching Iraqi desert, two American soldiers, Sergeant Alan Isaac and Staff Sergeant Shane Matthews, move cautiously toward a remote construction site. Intelligence suggests an insurgent sniper has been targeting workers in the area. The silence feels unnatural, broken only by wind sweeping across endless sand. Through rifle scopes, they scan rooftops, windows, and debris. Sweat drips under heavy helmets as tension builds with every step forward. Suddenly, Matthews is shot, collapsing instantly. Isaac dives for cover behind a crumbling concrete wall. The open desert becomes a deadly arena, and the unseen enemy controls every movement. Isaac attempts to reach Matthews, crawling slowly across burning sand while staying low. Dust sticks to his wounds as another shot rings out, narrowly missing him. He drags himself back behind the fragile wall, realizing the sniper has perfect sight lines. The radio crackles with distant voices, but interference disrupts communication. Matthews lies motionless in the open, exposed and silent. Panic creeps into Isaac's mind as he understands he is pinned down. The wall, barely thick enough to stop bullets, becomes his only shield. Isolation closes in, turning the vast desert into a suffocating prison. As hours pass, the sun grows merciless. Isaac's leg bleeds from a gunshot wound sustained during his attempt to rescue Matthews. He tears fabric from his uniform to slow the bleeding. The sniper begins using the radio frequency to taunt him, speaking fluent English with a calm, almost philosophical tone. The unseen enemy introduces himself as Juba, claiming experience in warfare and patience beyond imagination. His voice is steady, unsettling, and confident. Psychological warfare begins, with Juba describing Isaac's movements and predicting his fear. The battle becomes not only physical but deeply mental. Isaac struggles to maintain focus despite dehydration and pain. He checks his ammunition carefully, knowing each bullet could mean survival. The sniper fires methodically, forcing Isaac to stay hidden. The concrete wall chips away with every impact, small fragments falling around him like dust. Isaac attempts to signal for help, but Juba mimics military codes over the radio, confusing any potential rescue. The manipulation intensifies. Alone in the desert heat, Isaac realizes he is facing an opponent who thrives on patience. Time stretches endlessly, each second feeling heavier than the last. Flashbacks of home flicker through Isaac's mind, memories of family gatherings, laughter, and peaceful streets far from war. These thoughts fuel his determination to survive. He studies the sniper's firing pattern, analyzing angles and echoes. Every sound matters: the wind, shifting sand, distant metal creaks. Juba continues speaking, probing Isaac's doubts and challenging his courage. He insists the war is meaningless and that survival is merely chance. Isaac refuses to surrender mentally, clinging to discipline and training. Even wounded, he prepares to exploit any mistake the sniper might make. Night begins to fall, bringing temporary relief from the sun but introducing new dangers. Shadows stretch across the desert, distorting vision. Isaac uses darkness as partial cover to reposition slightly behind the wall. He risks turning on a small device to triangulate radio signals. The sniper immediately fires, proving he anticipated the move. The wall cracks further, pieces collapsing under relentless bullets. Isaac's breathing becomes uneven as exhaustion sets in. Still, he whispers coordinates into the radio, hoping someone hears. The silence afterward feels heavier than the gunfire. The sniper's voice grows more personal, recounting stories of other soldiers he has defeated. He claims patience is the ultimate weapon, not bullets. Isaac counters by remaining silent, refusing to engage in conversation. Instead, he studies the environment carefully. He notices a subtle reflection from a distant rubble pile, possibly the sniper's scope. Calculating distance and wind direction, Isaac prepares a risky shot. Pain surges through his leg as he adjusts position. The desert wind rises, carrying sand across the battlefield like a curtain between hunter and prey. With trembling hands, Isaac fires toward the faint glint. The desert erupts with echoing gunshots. Silence follows. For a brief moment, hope sparks inside him. He listens intensely for movement, but none comes. Believing he may have neutralized the threat, Isaac gathers strength to stand. As he attempts to move from behind the wall, a sudden crack splits the air. A bullet strikes him, proving the sniper anticipated the deception. The realization hits harder than the wound. Juba manipulated the entire exchange. The battlefield remains under the sniper's control. Bleeding heavily, Isaac collapses behind the shattered wall. The radio falls beside him, buzzing faintly. Juba's calm voice returns, almost sympathetic, explaining that war rewards patience and punishes desperation. Isaac's strength fades as the desert wind intensifies, sweeping sand over broken concrete and fallen bodies. The once protective wall is now crumbling, unable to shield him any longer. The sniper's presence remains invisible, a ghost within the vast emptiness. The struggle becomes symbolic, a lone soldier against unseen forces beyond physical sight. As dawn approaches, the desert grows quiet again. The camera lingers on the damaged wall, standing alone amid endless sand. Rescue forces approach cautiously in the distance, unaware of the sniper's precise location. The psychological duel has left its mark deeper than bullets. Isaac's battle illustrates the brutal isolation of modern warfare, where enemies may remain unseen yet devastatingly close. The wall, once a simple structure, represents fragile survival against overwhelming odds. In the vast silence, the cost of patience and pride echoes long after the final shot fades away.